Okay, great. Good evening, everyone. This is Alan Wu, Sequoia Lending. Again, welcome for everyone to joining our presentation tonight. So before I get into the actual presentation, let's do some housekeeping first. Many of you asking for what's going on with our website, and I'm very, very excited to announce that our new website will be up and running by this Friday. Okay, up and running by this Friday. So if you already a Sequoia member and if you already sign up, you should have your own website. And if you go into the website right now, this is what you see. Okay, if you're seeing if you're seeing the screen, this is what the website looks like. But in 2 more days, this design will be gone. The new website looks like this. Okay, so this is what the new website looks like. Now, nothing changes to your URL. When you set up your own URL, okay, that it's yours. So nothing will change. The URL is the same. The web address is the same. It's just the design is different. Okay, so now this is what the new design looks like. Now, the major difference is that for this new design, we are going to have 2 functions. So the first function is for geared to design for clients. So that's why when you see on the front page, you will see get funded. So that is the project owner. So if you have any clients or whatsoever, when they come onto this website, they should click on get funded, get to the project. Or if they are coming in here for opportunities, then they can click on join Sequoia Lending, so on and so forth. So again, on Friday, you should be able to play around with this, but I'm going to show you what the major change would be, right? So now the major change is that if you see from the old website, you have the scenario tab, but for the new one, we take that we take out the scenario tab. There's no more scenario tab. What do we have instead? We have a product page right here. So there are many places in the website where you can get access to the product page. So if you click on this, explain about what we do. Now, when we click on the product page, which looks like something like this. Now, this is where you can find out all of our product information. So if you can see right here, under the real estate funding, we can do 1 to 4 unit, mixed use, apartment buildings, multifamilies, commercial property. If you have people that's purchasing a warehouse, buying a retail, that's where you go. Land development, construction, so on and so forth. So this is the real estate funding side of it. Now, also, of course, we also have the business funding. For example, if you're looking for equipment loans, buying a truck, equipment loans, and I believe that there are many agents right here in this presentation that you are looking for funding for EV charging stations, right? So that is where you go, equipment loans, working capital, so on and so forth. Now, if you don't know what it is, all you have to do just click on it and it will show you some criteria, what equipment loan is all about, what is the funding limit would be. If you want to find out what is 1 to 4 unit investment property, you click on it, it gives you some basic guideline. Now, we can only give you something very, very high level. Okay, we cannot give you something more detailed because every case is different. We have at least over 50 different lenders that can do, let's say, for example, 1 to 4 units. So there's no way that we can put everybody's guideline on it, but at least give you an idea what we can do. So in this case, let's say somebody's saying that, okay, fine, this is 1 to 4 unit. This is what I would like to do. And all you have to do just to click on the apply now. So once you apply now, it would, right now it's not ready. In about 2 days, you can play around with this. So once you go to apply now, it will go into a page similar to something like this. Okay, currently our scenario form. So let's say here is the 1 to 4 unit. If you do that, this is what the scenario form looks like. Now, when you click on apply now, all the information will be the same, but it just does the look will be different. Okay. So here, all you have to do just to fill out some basic information for us. The form comes to us, goes to the back. We reviewed it. We will give you a rate and term. And if there are difficult projects. So for example, if you're talking about $10 million, $20 million for a construction project, something like this, then definitely still fill out a scenario form so that we know what the project is all about. Once we get the scenario form, then most likely in those big complicated projects, we're going to set up a three-way conference call between you, our mentor, and the client, so that we can understand what the project is. But anyway, so just want to let everybody know what the new website looks like. So it will be up and running by this Friday. But even today is already, I mean, if you're already a Sequoia member, the website is functioning. It's just a different look. Okay. Now, also, what I would like to suggest everybody to do is to connect us on our Facebook page. So here we will have a lot of information posted. For example, the training, different type of training, the product that we closed, any market information, any news, company news or market trends, so on and so forth. This is going to be our network. This is our hub. So if you have any questions or whatsoever, feel free to ask right here and post your questions right here. And one of our mentors is going to come back and answer your question right here. So please do follow us on our Facebook. And from time to time, we do provide, we do post a lot of deals that we close. So for example, any time that we close a deal, and if we think that that deal is very special, we will make a flyer like this and post it on our Facebook page. Also post it to our Instagram page. You can see it right here. Okay. Feel free, download this flyers, repost it to your social media network so that your group or your network can see what kind of funding that you can do. So if you can see right here, we do retail renovation. Okay, so we did a truck loan right here, right? We can provide funding for somebody that purchasing trucks, duplexes purchase, and this is one of the event that we did up in New York. Again, we have over 100 people showed up, and yeah, we also posted a lot of event information up there, pictures and things like this. So again, this is all the information that we post onto our Facebook. Please connect us on our Facebook page. And also, again, same thing with Instagram. So a lot of the people asking us or asking you, hey, what kind of loan can you do? What kind of funding can you do? Point them to, well, first of all, the Facebook page, it's for private group. So you have to be a Sequoia member in order for us to invite you into the Facebook group. But however, the Sequoia Lending's Instagram page or Instagram website, this is for public. So if your client wants to find out what kind of deal that we have closed, have them to follow us. Every time when we close something, we're going to post it right here. Okay, so this is another our supporting page. Now, in another platform that I would like everybody to follow, it's our YouTube channel. Okay, every training such as this, after we're done, we will record it and we'll put it up to our YouTube channel, so that if you miss any training whatsoever, you can definitely come back and watch it. And also, of course, when you recruited new team member into the team, let's say, for example, they ask you, hey, what is the compensation looks like? It's right here, compensation plan 5.0 right here. Ask them to watch it. If they're asking you, hey, what is account receivable? Ask them to come in here. There's an account receivable training. If they're talking about, hey, what is multifamily? We have multifamily right here, so on and so forth. So this is going to be a very, very resourceful channel for you to connect to. And as we speak, we are building something called Sequoia Academy. Okay, we are building Sequoia Academy. And one of our mentor right here, Francine, she is responsible. Francine, wave. Okay, there she is. Francine has been she used to work for Chase for over 25 years. She has more experience in mortgages and funding commercial deals than any one of us in this room, including myself. So she's responsible for putting in together the training course, certification course for every single one of us to come in here. Because again, we are a professional. Yes, there is no licensing needed or whatsoever with our platform, with our commercial lending, but we still want you to become professionals. How do you talk to your clients? How do you filter up your client? What kind of documentation you need to collect? What do you need to be aware of? So all those things is going to be in the Sequoia Academy certification class. So Francine is actually putting that together, and hopefully we should get this thing up and running in about a month or so. The platform is already done. All the coding is already done. We spent quite a bit of money on it. Everything is done already. It's just waiting for the content, put it inside of it, and every one of you can get access to it when this thing is done. Now, not only that Francine is putting in these certificate course together, we also have other certification coming online. And for example, we have Mr. Jack Jing from New York. He's a primary residential mortgage that, yes, we can do primary as well. But however, you need to get licensed. Primary and commercial is totally different. If you want to get into the primary residential funding portion of it, you need to get licensed also. And Mr. Jack Jing is going to be responsible for teaching us how to get licensed. And again, his course is going to be coming online as well. So other than that, we also have many, many other videos, training courses provided by our lender, not only me, not only our Sequoia mentors, but also by our lenders. For example, if you want to find out how they underwriting a deal, we have a video for that. How do they do a multifamily? We have a loan for that. How do you do marketing? There are video for that. So we are building a library of videos. So for all Sequoia member, you can get access to it. And a lot of people asking us, hey, I paid $30 a month. What is the $30 for? $30 a month, that is for the platform that you see right here. This is your own website. You can marketing it. You have access to our Sequoia Academy. You can get access to all of our training, so on and so forth. Again, that is what it is. So everybody put their time together to come up with this thing. Hey, you're doing a business. Think about this. $30 a month, $360 a year for you to get into commercial lending that you can get access to hundreds of millions of dollars. It's incredible. Okay. So again, that is what we have right now. But of course, a lot of people asking us, hey, Alan, are there any way that we don't have to pay for the $30? Yes, we can. Honestly, we don't need the $30 to survive, right? That's not our business. But again, we want serious people to come onto our platform. Think about this. If we open this thing up for free, we can have tens of thousands of people coming online, signing online, but a lot of them are not going to do things anyway. We do not want that. We are an entrepreneur company. We want people that is willing to put the skin in the game, willing to work this thing together with us. But however, with that being said, we do have a program that came out that we will reimburse the entire year of your membership. So again, $30 a month. However, as long as you bring in one deal, sometimes in this year, I don't care when, you can bring it in today, tomorrow, December, November, I don't care. You bring in one deal in 2023 and you close that deal. I don't care the size of that deal. It could be a $5,000 deal. It could be a $10,000 deal. It could be a $100 million deal. I don't care. As long as you just bring in one deal, you close it. Besides of the commissions that you get, we will reimburse you the entire year of membership. So for example, let's say you come in February. February right now, you submitted a deal and you close in February. Now in 2023, how many months of membership fee that you pay? Let's say 2 months, January and February. But if you close the deal in February, we will still give you 12 months of membership. So again, you don't need to worry about it. So every single year we will do that. And as long as you close one deal, we will give you entire year of membership. So again, basically it does not cost you anything to come into Sequoia Lending, to get to our platform, to learn about this. We want you to see the opportunity right here. It's not just about the $30. What we're talking about here is tens of thousands of millions of dollars. And this industry, what we are doing right here, ladies and gentlemen, is not to just provide an opportunity. I said it over and over and over and over again, that we are here to disrupt this industry. What do I mean by disrupt this industry? Think about this. Today, if you have somebody that needs $5 million to purchase a warehouse, you need to have somebody that needs $10 million to build a hotel, where do you go? Can you provide any service to that particular client? And the question, and the answer is no, you cannot. You have no idea where the door is. Sequoia, what we're trying to do is to open up the door for people that come into commercial lending. And I warned you, once you taste the sweetness of commercial lending, you will never go back to whatever you are doing right now. I don't care what it is. As long as it's not commercial, you would not go back to where you came from. And that is true. I came from a traditional mortgage background. And once I got into commercial lending, I told myself, heck with mortgage, heck with insurance, heck with real estate, not putting them down. It's just because there's so much regulations, so much competitions, and so much headache in that type of business. Hey, again, nothing wrong with that. I was there. I used to sell mortgages. I used to sell insurance. I used to be a real estate agent. But once I understand what commercial lending is, once I got inside of commercial lending and see the picture and see what this thing can offer, man, this world is much, much better than anything else. It's just like this. A lot of people know that, hey, America is the greatest country in the world. If you live in outside America, a lot of people can only hear what America, a lot of people can only imagine what America really is. But if they never really come to America, all they can say is that, oh, America, yeah, I know what it is. Oh, yeah, I mean, they have their problem. But until you really come to the United States of America, I bet you, majority of the people immigrant come to the United States of America, they never want to go back anymore. Why? Because indeed, we are the best country in the world. But again, commercial lending is the same thing. A lot of us never really taste what commercial lending is. If you can just close one deal through our platform, you know how easy this is. You will never go back, and I can guarantee you that. And we try to make this thing for free for everybody, okay? So again, ladies and gentlemen, those are all the announcements that I have for Sequoia. So new website is coming. Pay attention to it. Connect us on Facebook, connect us on YouTube, connect us on Instagram. If you want to have free membership, submit one deal, close it, you got it. Okay, now we only pay you one time a year. Okay, if you close 2 deals, I'm not going to pay you 2 deals. You have to wait until 2024 and close the deal in 2024. Then I will pay you. Then I will reimburse the membership again. All right. So again, that is the thing. And now also what we are doing is that our commitment for this year is 5,000 members in Sequoia lending. 5,000 members, and I know we can achieve it. Next week I will be in Los Angeles. Okay, week after that I will be in. A week out of that we will be in New Jersey. Okay, and now we are talking about in March we will go to Denver. Francine, that is your place. Okay, we will be going to Denver. We will be going to Texas. We will be going to Florida. Again, we already have the whole thing lined up already. We have so many partners, so-called, would like to partnering with us. It's just because it makes sense. Think about this. A lot of people out there, ask yourself right now, don't even think about outside. Ask yourself right now, do you know any business people that needs funding today? I bet the answer is yes. I bet the answer is yes. All you have to do just to go out there and let them know that what you can do. Okay, so our goal is 5,000 members by the end of this year. Next year, our goal is 15,000. Okay, and next year, 2024, our goal is to have our first meeting in Las Vegas, and that is our plan. All right. So again, all the announcement is made. So let's go into today's training now. If you follow us on Facebook, today's training, we're supposed to talk about credit. However, unfortunately, the person that supposed to come in here to provide a credit training, he has emergency. He's apologized to everybody. He cannot be here tonight. However, he will be back. I'm going to put him on the schedule sometimes this month. He will be back to us to talk about credit. Now, then what are we going to talk about tonight? I'm going to talk about something very, very hot also, that if you never get into this type of funding, you should. And this type of funding is not like you do business one deal. Wait, hold on. This type of funding is not like you just do it one time. You do it over and over and over. So we are going to talk about, ladies and gentlemen, let me turn on the slide. We are going to talk about fix and flip. Okay.
Please
fix
wait.
Flip. Okay. Fix and flip. Now, why do I talk about fix and flip? Am I still sharing the screen right now? Okay, so good. Why do I want to talk about fix and flip? Actually, fix and flip is one of our bread and butter. We fund at least between 10 to 20 fix and flip a month. Okay. Very, very low hanging fruit, meaning that very easy to fund. Now, when you come into commercial lending, a lot of people would think that, oh man, I'm going to get that $10 million deal. I'm going to get that $100 million deal. I'm going to get that $50 million deal. Yes, you can. Absolutely. No doubt about this. But however, those $10 million deal, $20 million deal are not easy to close. It's not like you can close that in 30 days. It takes weeks and weeks and weeks to get it done. Okay. But fix and flip, we can close in 2 weeks. We can close in 2 weeks. Now, what would you rather do? Would you rather wait so long to get one big paycheck? Or would you rather to get a small paycheck every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks, every 30 days? While you're waiting for that paycheck to come. Okay. So commercial lending, there's so many things that we can do. Fix and flip is actually one of the major business in commercial lending. If you're not tapping into this type of funding, you should. There's so much money out there and there's so many business out there, regardless what the market is. So now today, we all know the interest rate has gone up so much. Anybody can tell me what the prime rate is? Type into the check box if you know. What is the prime rate today? Anybody have any idea? I don't see anything. Okay. Okay. And again, 7.75%. You got it? 7.75%. That is the prime rate today. So the interest rate has gone up so much. That affects a lot of realtor and loan officers' business. But in fix and flip, it doesn't really matter. It does not matter what the interest rate is because the 7.5 prime rate, that is the prime rate. The fix and flip does not follow the prime rate. Okay. So for investors that purchasing fix and flip, regardless what the economy is, this is a business. They still out there purchasing fix and flip properties. They still buying properties and fix it and sell it or fix it and hold it, so on and so forth. And now they don't just do it one time a year. They don't just do one deal a year. They keep coming back. They do deals. If you run into a good investors, they do deals, every two months, every 3 months. Some of the clients that we work with, they purchase like 10 properties a year. Now, if you're a real estate agent, after you sell property to one person, most likely that's it. You have to constantly go out there to look for another client. Am I correct saying that? You need to constantly asking for referral. But if you tag along with one investor, and he will just keep coming back and coming back and coming back, and that because that is their business. So fix and flip is definitely one of the projects that we fund a lot. Okay. So why do we fund fix and flip? So why do we fund fix and flip? So again, let's talk about the market first, right? So do you know that here in the United States, over 50% of the house, are over 35 years of age? Think about the property that you living in right now. How old is that property? Think about the neighborhood. So statistics show 50% of it are over 35 years of age. And that basically, that means that there's a lot of TLC required. There's a lot of fix and flip required. There's a lot of property out there that are outdated. Okay, now, of course, right now, when you look at all these builders, you have granite countertops, you have stainless steels, you have hardwood floor, you have all those good stuff. But that's still a very small portion compared to the entire country. Small portion housing compared to the entire country. A lot of houses right there still have dirty carpets, still have outdated kitchens, still have a plumbing that it's, that is 20, 30-year-old technology. Okay, so when they sell these kind of houses, most of the time they cannot just sell it in as is condition. They have to sell it after, they have to repair it before they can sell it. Now that creates a huge opportunity right here. So again, here in the state right here, on an average, pretty much every quarter, there's approximately across the country, approximately 80,000 fixed per quarter, and that number is keep rising. So ask yourself, how many of you know people that in this business doing fix and flips? I bet you do. Okay, I might not be able to see you. I only see a lot of pictures right here. I don't see a lot of you, the real face, but I know you know a lot of people around you that is in the fix and flip business. Tag along with them. And the average profit for each fix and flip is about $67,000. So this is a business. And now when you think about this, why people out there still buying fix and flip? Because there's so much profit inside of it. On an average, $67,000 per flip. Of course, that depending on where you are, right? If you're in California, if you're in New York, you might make a lot more money than just $67,000. Okay, so now, and the reality is that out of that 80,000 fix, out of 80,000 flip every quarter, only approximately 40% of those people are financing, meaning they're out there looking for money. The other 60% of the people, guess what? What do they use? They use their own money. And when you use your own money to do business, can you do a big business? No, you can't. You cannot expand your business. So a lot of those people can only do one deal at a time, and probably 2 or 3 deals a year max if they use their own money. Think about this. Think about this, guys. I don't know where you live. Let's say just across the board. Let's say you purchase a property for $200,000, okay? And you spend about $100,000 into it. Total cost into the deal is what? $300,000. Now, if you do 3, that is $1 million. How many people actually got $1 million laying around that they can do these kind of things? Not many. But a lot of them do not know that we exist. A lot of them have been in this business for a long time, but they still do not know that they can get funding for it, especially the minorities. As you can see, I'm Asian background. You do know a lot of Chinese in our community, they all use their own money to do whatever they need to do. And they are surprised that they think that, oh, wow, what you can lend money for me on an ugly house? Because in a traditional world, when you go out there to get funding from the bank do not like ugly houses. The bank like beautiful houses. If your property is ugly, they do not give you money to fix. And a lot of people have no idea where to turn to, what to do other than using their own money. So that is a huge, huge opportunity, ladies and gentlemen, for fix and flip. So this is a $30 billion market in the United States of America. It's a huge, 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 huge market. So if you look at this on an average nationwide, 4.9% of all home sale in the United States are flipped. What does it mean? It means that every 20 house, there's one flip. Every 20 house sold is one flip. Now that 20 house, including what? Including second home, build, right? So on and so forth. So again, this is I want to see how big the market is, right? So on an average, the purchase price is approximately $267,000. Again, so this is the fix and flip market. Now, if you yourself is not a flipper, it's okay. You are even better. Why? You got access to the funding that can fund all these people. And tonight, I'm going to talk to you, how do you fund all these projects? So we are going to talk about fix and flip. So first of all, you need to understand the program guide, okay? Now, when we come to fix and flip, remember one thing, guys. The lender, they have two type of money. There are two type of money. No, there are two portion. I should say not two type. It's two portion of the money. The first portion is for you to purchase the property. Okay, the property worth about $200,000, purchase money. The second portion is called renovation money. You need money to fix it. So you have two portions. Okay, so that is what the lender is looking for. Now, you will hear a term called 70, 20, 70, 100, 65, 80, 100, 65. What does it mean? It means this: for the purchase money, the lender can fund you between 70% to 100%, depending on experience. I'm going to show you what how to do that. Okay, and also the rehab money, the lender will always give you 100%. If you need $100,000, they will give you $100,000. If you need $200,000, they will give you $200,000. They're not going to say that if you provide a construction budget that costs about $100,000 and you tell them that, hey, I have $50,000 in my pocket. I don't need $50,000. All I need is just $50,000. I don't need $100,000. I just need $50,000. No, they will give you the entire $100,000. Okay, why? Because they want to make sure you have enough money. They want to make sure that you have enough money to finish that project or to finish that construction or to finish that bill. It will be very, very ugly if your budget is 100,000, they only give you 50,000, and you say you have 50,000, and for whatever reason you cannot come up with that money. Then what happened? Then what happened? Again, that is going to be very ugly. Sorry, I just realized that I didn't share the screen. I'm sorry about that. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Okay, so again, that is the renovation money. Okay, so now, of course, let's say you purchase the property at 200,000 and the renovation budget is 100,000. Can you get $300,000 total? Possibly. Okay, possibly. Now, how do they determine what is the maximum that they can give you? It's based on your ARV, after repair value. So regardless what it is, and if they can only maximum give it to you is 65% to 70% of the ARV value. So let's say, for example, the total cost is $300,000 and the ARV would be what? Let's say the ARV would be 500,000. So what is 70% of 500,000? $350,000. Am I right? So now what is the total budget? Total budget is 300,000. So in this case, they're okay. You can get the maximum out of it. I'm not saying that you can get 100% out of it. That depending on experience, but still you will get the maximum out of it. So that's why oftentimes you hear something called 70, 165, meaning that they give you 70% of the purchase money, 100% of the 100% of the rehab money, and 65% of the ARV value. You hear something called 80, 170. Same thing. They give you 80% of the purchase money. They give you 100%, always 100% of your renovation money, and the ARV cannot, the total funding cannot be more than 70% of the ARV, so on and so forth, 90, 165, so on and so forth. Okay, so now the next question arises: how do I get more money? How can I get the max dollar for my project? It's based on your experience. So experience, it comes with different tiers. Okay, now how do they count experience? Normally they look at your last 36 months of total project that you have done. How many flips have you done in the last 36 months? Now, a lot of people come to us saying that, hey, Alan, I've done something like this 10 years ago. I'm sorry, I cannot count 10 years ago. Why? Because 10 years ago, the code was different. Okay. The material that you used was different. The configuration, the style was different. The budget was different. So again, you cannot count 10 years. Now, most of the lender is looking for last 36 months. Some lender will go to last 60 months, which is like the last 5 years. Okay. So when you talk to your client, ask them, one of the most important thing that we always ask for, it's your construction track record. Show us what you have done in the last 36 months. Okay. So now it does require a different tier. Now, if somebody's saying that, hey, I've never done anything, can I still get a loan? Yeah, absolutely. You can definitely still can get a loan, but you're not going to get as much as other people. So what are the different tiers? Tier 1, you have never done anything. So you are rookie, you are brand new. You never have any, you don't have any experience to show. Now, we also have a lot of clients come to us where they have experience with their company. So many of them work for a contractor. They know how to build, they know how to order, they know how to make the whole thing work. But that project was not under their name. So he has nothing to show that he has experience, because the lender is not going to just listen to you or listen to me saying that, yeah, he has experience. It doesn't work that way. They have to be able to verify it. So how do they verify? They have to look at the address. Once they pull out the address, now they know who was the previous owner, how much they purchased it for, what did they sell the property for, so on and so forth. A lot of information can come out. If they pull out the address, it's not under that person's name, regardless how well he said, how much experience he has, we still cannot use it. Okay, so he has to start from ground zero. So start with ground zero. Now, right here, normally, this is my suggestion. I suggest client, if you've never done something like this before, yes, I still can get you a loan, but I would not suggest you to do it yourself. It's because there's so much unknown when you don't have the experience. So you could get yourself in a very nasty situation. For example, the budget was not enough. So let's say you show the clients, the lender saying that you need $100,000, but at the end of the day, you need $120,000. You're over budget, or you miscalculate something. Where do you come up with that extra money? Now you got yourself stuck in a very bad situation, right? I've seen tons and tons of scenario like this. So it's very important for us to educate our client that, hey, listen, yes, if you do all these things by yourself, you might make all the money, but without experience, and once you step into some mistake, it will cost you a lot more money. So might as well, for your first few deals, partner up with somebody that you trust. You might not make as much money as you would, but you gain a lot of experience. Those experience are valuable. Those experience are priceless, okay? But that is tier 1, zero experience. Tier 2, 1 to 4 flip in the last 36 months. Tier 3, 5 to 6 months, 5 to 11, so on and so forth. Now, the more flip that you have done, the better the rate and term would be. Now, also, we can use combined experience. So let's say me and John, I'm a flipper, John is a flipper, we come together and we want to do this thing together. Let's say I have 2 under my belt and John has 3 under his belt. Now, combined together, we have total 5. Now that bumps me into tier 3. You see that? So now you can get a better rate in terms. So combined experience also, we can use that also. Interest rate. A lot of people saying, hey, what is the interest rate looks like? Now, I apologize. This interest rate is not correct anymore. I should have changed the interest rate. So I would just give you an idea, okay, what the interest rate looks like. So tier 1, when I did this training, it was about a year ago. Okay, it was about a year ago. So at that time, the interest rate, if you have no experience or whatsoever, they give you approximately 9.99% with 4.25 point, charging you 4.25%, 80% purchase price, 100% renovation budget. Now, what is today's interest rate if you have the experience? I would say somewhere around 10.5. So as you can see, it's not up that much. Oh, no. Sorry. This is no experience. It's approximately, I would say about approximately 11%. Okay. So it's approximately 1% more than before. Okay. So that is why, regardless what the interest rate looks like in the fix and flip industry, is not that much difference. So that is what without any experience looks like. If you're talking about tier 2, in that case, about a year ago was 9%. So today you can count approximately 10.5, somewhere around that number. And now they charge 4 points. You see the points is less. Okay, charging the point is less. Now look at the purchase dollar. They can get 85% purchase money and 100% renovation. So now you can get more money, which means that you can do more deals and so on and so forth. Now you can actually look at all these numbers that you can see. Now, we can fund 100% purchase and 100% renovation. So basically means that the client does not need to come up with any money other than the closing costs. Yes, we can definitely do that, but that is for experienced client only, meaning that if somebody have done 20, 30 flips for the last 36 months, yes, we have that option for them. Okay. But if you take 100%, the interest rate is going to be higher than if you could put down some skin in the game versus if you put down 10% whatsoever. Okay. So just give you an idea what it looks like. Now we work with at least 100 lenders that can do fix and flip. Now we are not going to use all of them. That's for sure. We only pick a few that we use all the time. But when we come into some unique situation, then we might use some of the lenders. So what is unique situation? So keep in mind, there are areas in the country that some lender do not like. For example, Baltimore. Okay, if you live in Baltimore, there are some area in the Baltimore, the lender just don't like it. Chicago, someplace in Chicago, someplace in Detroit, someplace in Alabama, things like this. There are zip code that they need to look at before they decide, if they want to do the deal or not, so on and so forth. So again, just to give you an idea what the interest rate looks like and how to structure the deal like this. So what kind of document do we need? Very simple. Now, remember, this type of loans, the lender's goal is to give you the money, They will do whatever it takes to give you them. So they are not going to limit you. So all you have to do just to show them two things, which I'm going to show to you. The first one is experience. We talked about it already. We need to see the track record. The second thing is that you can show that you have liquidity, you have down payment. If they require you to put down 10%, you just need to show them where the 10% is. They don't care about where the 10% is, okay? As long as that 10% is not cash under your bed. As long as the 10% is somewhere in a bank account, you can show that you own that 10% or your partner owns it. They don't care about seasoning. They don't care about none of those things. Okay, so it's pretty relaxed funding guidelines. So the first thing, application, very simple. The application is not like 1003. For those of us who have done mortgages, you know how complicated 1003 is. No, this is nothing with 1003. Just one simple one-page application. Every lender have their own application, but it's very, very simple. Nothing special about this. Next thing. Now, this is very important. They need something called scope of work, or in another word, called construction budget. So now you purchase the property for $200,000. That's fine. We understand that. Now you're saying that I need $100,000 to renovation. Yes. Now they want to see how you use this $100,000. That is where the experience comes in. If you have no experience, it's very difficult for a client to put that scope of work or budget breakdown to show how to use that $100,000. They really want you to break it down. For example, how much it take you to clean up the house? $10,000. How much it costs you to to gut out all the old cabinets? How much it costs you to replace the roof? How much it costs you to replace a bathroom? So on and so forth. So it's very, very, very detailed. Now, where do you get this form? For experienced flippers, they already have it. Okay, every deal that come in, they already have it for us. If they don't, we have the form for them to fill out. So when you fill out the scenario form for fix and flip, we always ask for track record, which we are going to show, which we're going to provide you the form, and we go also ask you for I'm sorry about that. Again, if you're not talking, please mute yourself. Sorry about that. So if you again, for track record and also for construction budget, if they don't have a form like this, we do have one for them to fill out. So this is very, very important. Now, when the lender look at the construction budget, they also would do their own analysis to understand, does it make sense for such a construction budget? Okay, so that is very important. Next thing is track record, deal verification form. Track record, again, this is another form for them to show what kind of experience that they have. So for the last 5 years, fill in the deals that you have done, how much you purchased it for, how much budget you spent on this project, how much you sold it for, how long the property on the market, so on and so forth. So that is how the lender will track the experience. And other than that, they need your LLC. This type of loan, we cannot fund based on your personal name. It has to be funded to your company. Now, client can set up a company today and use that company to get funding tomorrow. There's no seasoning on LLC. It does not matter, okay? All we need to see is the operating agreement. We need to see the EIN number, and we need to see article of incorporation. So those are the 3 documentations that we need to see. And on top of it, we also need to see the bank statement. So we need to show that they have enough liquidity. So pretty much that's it. That's all the deals, all the documentations that we need to see. And as long as everything checks out, we can fund this deal. Now, how fast we can fund? At earlier of the presentation, I was saying that 2 weeks, right? So those are for repeat clients. So for example, let's say a new client that come to us, we never dealt with them before, our lender never dealt with them before. Yes, it take approximately 30 days to get that thing done. Okay. Now, once we understand who they are, we know who they are, and they keep coming back to us, now the time becomes shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter. And in some instances, we can even close deal in 7 days. But again, don't go out there to advertise to your client that we can fund in 7 days. Normally, give yourself enough time to go out to get this project done, because you never know what you will run into. Now, those are all the things that we need to get from the client. Now, from the lender side, what do they need to do? Obviously, they need to order title. We need to see your insurance. The lender need to do an appraisal. That is very important. They need to do an appraisal, no doubt about this. So once all this thing comes in, they can fund this thing between 3 to 5 business days. It's pretty quick. Okay. Now, also this type of loan, then they will give you the purchase money at the closing table. But for the construction, they will not give you $100,000 at once. Okay, you take the money and you run. They don't want you to do that. They will give you something called draw. So you have to tell, or the client have to tell the lender how much money, how many draw I need for this project. It could be 5 draws, 6 draws, 10 draws, whatever that might be. So every time they have to spend money on, let's say the first draw is for clean up the house, and which costs $10,000. So the client has to spend $10,000, clean up the house, then you request the draw. So the lender is going to, you tell the lender saying, hey, I cleaned up the house already, give me the $10,000 back. So they verified it. Many of times they will just have you to do a Zoom, and you just carry the phone around the house and let them see that, hey, this property, where, yes, indeed, they clean it up, then they give you the money. And now let's say the second draw is for you to tear down the cabinets. When you're done, they will give you the money back. So that's draws. So this is not a difficult loan. We fund that all day long. It's very low hanging fruit, very fast to get you to see, for you to get the commissions. Now, the most important thing for you is to help us to get the document. If the document is not in place, we cannot get this thing funded. So document is very, very important. And that is how you make your commission. You don't need to understand the industry. You don't need to know how to put this thing together, but you need to help us to get the document that we need. Otherwise, everybody wastes their time. So our goal right here is to get that project funded as soon as possible. A lot of agent or client asking us, hey, Alan, how fast can you fund the deal? Quite frankly, it's not about us. You need to ask the questions to your client. How fast can you provide documentations? Because we can fund the deal as fast as the client can provide a document to us. Okay. So let's work together. Let's close at least, I mean, again, at least close 2 or 3 fix and flip this year. If you are not in this business, at least close a few of them. You can taste how fast the money is. You can taste how easy this type of loan is. And we have agents in our company that does nothing but fix and flips because they already get a hang of it and they know where to find their clients. That's why you just need to find your niche. So just give you an example. This one I posted onto our Facebook group. This is one of the deals that we done last month. We purchased the property about $200,000, and we spent about $70,000 into it, and we sold for $439,000. The net profit for this deal after we pay off everything is $114,000. Not a bad deal to start a new year. So this particular deal, we did not look for a lender to fund. Because this deal is so good, a few Sequoia team members get together and use our money. So now we become lender. Does it make sense? We become lender to fund that project. So again, we fund this type of deal all day long. And regardless where you are in the country, you will run into projects like this. So remember, guys, no matter what you do, fix and flip is one of our bread and butter business. So go out there, conquer the world. So I will stop right here, ladies and gentlemen, and hopefully you enjoy tonight's training, even though, you know, we are not talking about credit. We talk about fix and flip. The credit guy will come back. But at least if this is the first time that you're joining our training, you'll understand some of the product that we did. Last week, we talked about multifamily, okay? And ever since last week, we already have 5 deals, 5 multifamily got term sheets and moving forward for processing already in 1 week, 5 multifamilies. Okay, now we talk about fix and flip, and we want to see how many fix and flip is going to be submitted in this week. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I have, and let's open up the floor. Any question, any comment, any suggestions? You like it, you don't like it? Now is the time for you to speak up.
I got a quick question. Can you hear me?
Who's this? Yes, when you ask questions, please announce yourself, where you're calling from, so that people know.
This is Edgar from DC over here in Virginia, actually.
Hey, Edgar, how are you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good, sir.
As far as I almost forgot the question I was going to ask. As far as the fix and flips, you said they require documentation from the client as far as showing experience, like what kind of experience they have doing fix and flips. I have few clients that are construction clients that they're working under somebody else, but they would like to start something. So what is it, like a statement of work or receipt or stuff like that? Is that what they look for in order to show the history of them having experience doing that type of work?
Okay.
They're not doing it directly themselves, getting the loan, but they're working under somebody, but they would like to start their own.
Okay, absolutely. We talked about that already, right? So the most important thing for the lender to count experience that can I verify it? You can talk to me all day long about what type of experience you have, but if I cannot verify it, I cannot count. So what can I count? So show me the house that you have done. Give me the property address. Okay, once I have the property address, I will put out the whole history will come out. And if I see your client's name somehow tied to that property, okay, I believe you. That is experience. But if your client's saying that no.
So let me stop it right there real quick. So if they're working under, let's say, ABC construction company, and they are employees or subcontractors of that company, that counts as an experience, them working, no?
No. So how can I verify that you did this job? I know it's ABC company did the job, but how can you prove that you did this particular job? You can't. So in that case now, however, if that client, let's say John worked for ABC company and he's the contractor that did the work. Now, if John pulled a permit, and if that permit is under John's name, yes, then we can count. Even though the property is under ABC, but the permit is under John's name. Yes, we can count that all day long. But If John's name is nowhere showing anywhere, then no matter how much he's saying that, hey, I work for this, I work for that, it doesn't matter. It doesn't work. So we actually have a lot of clients that exactly in the same situation where they themselves have a lot of experience, but they just cannot show. Unfortunately, he has to start everything from the scratch. Now, that does not mean that they cannot get a loan. That only means that they will get less leverage, which means that they need to put in more money. The interest rate might be a little bit higher. But again, that is how they build up their track record also.
Alan?
Okay.
Thank
Yes,
you.
Alan? You know, another way too that underwriters typically ask for is the HUD 1 settlement statement. So on the HUD 1 settlement statement, if it has the name of your business,
Yeah.
you're going to also have your documentation for that business to prove that you're the owner of that business. That's the easiest way to prove that you've done 5 deals within the last 3 years, for instance.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So again, remember one thing, what Francine talking about is that a lot of the fix and flippers, they set up different company for different projects. So you can set up 123 Main Street LLC, 234 XYZ LLC, which is fine. As long as you can, that is why I see on the LLC documents, right? We need to see your article of incorporation. I want to see your EIN number, and I want to see your operating agreement, so that to prove that you actually own that company. So absolutely right. So that is the experience that we need to verify. Margaret, go ahead.
Question number 1 is, do we fund the tax auctions? The property was delinquent and it's on the auction due to unpaid property tax. Number 2, you mentioned about the experience, and I have a contractors is work for the owner. So there's a city permit show pulled by the contractor. Does it count as experience?
Okay, 2 questions. Number 1, do we fund tax sale? Tax sale is different. Tax sale, you are not buying a property. You're buying the tax, you're buying the lien.
Yes.
You're buying the tax lien. So you do not own that property. So in this case, no, we do not fund tax sale. Tax sale is equivalent to you asking the lender to borrow money to buy stock. No one will lend you money to buy stock. Okay. So in the same case, nobody will lend you money to buy tax lien, because again, you do not own that property.
In California, after 1 year, it would be after the reclaimed period over, it would be turned into the purchaser.
Yes, you said it a key word. After 1 year.
Yes.
Okay. No lender in their right mind is going to give you money and wait for 1 year and hopefully you own this property. No. Okay. So again, no, the short answer is no. But if you're out there purchasing foreclosure property, yes, we can fund it. It doesn't matter how you buy the property.
Got it.
From the lender's perspective, I'm funding you to purchase the property. You can purchase it from auction. You can purchase it from your neighbor. You can purchase it from MLS. I don't care. As long as you're buying a property, transfer the property into your title, I can fund it. Okay. So that's the first question. Now, the second question, you're saying that, hey, you have somebody that works under the owner of the company and the...
No. The property owner hired the contractor.
Right. The property owner hired a contractor. So it's the same scenario. If the contractor pulled a permit, the permit is under the contractor's name, yes, then I can count that as experience.
Okay, got it.
Okay. I do see some question right here by Coach Donna. Hi, Coach Donna. How are you? Coach Donna asking for how often do we have training like this? And she's saying there's a great training. Thank you so much. Yes, we do have training like this every Wednesday night. And we try to do it every Wednesday night. And sometimes if we cannot do it, if I cannot do it, I will ask some other mentor to do trainings. Different Wednesday, we talk about different project, different subject, so on and so forth. So again, if you are our Sequoia member, please come to our training every Wednesday night, same time, every Wednesday night. Okay. Okay, so any other questions? Oh, I see. Okay. If nothing, then again, thank you guys. Now, remember one thing. I don't want you to become a master of meeting attendees. You know what that means? Master of meeting attendees. You go to meeting. Every time when you have a training, you got excited, you want to learn. You want to learn. It's good that you learned. Okay. But however, it will be more fun if you put what you learn into practice. Put what you learn into actions. When you see that paycheck, it will be more excited. And that is what learning is all about. My background, it's mechanical engineering. Okay. In mechanical engineering, we have two terms. The first term is what we call potential energy. Understand what potential energy, right? Potential energy. Knowledge equals to potential energy. When you turn potential energy into action, that becomes what? Kinetic energy. Does it make sense? Kinetic energy actually moves things forward. Potential energy just store right there. Nothing happens. So I want every single one of us learn as much as you can, but use as much as you can. If you don't use it, you never learned it. If you don't use it, you don't understand it. Okay? The goal for us right here is to disrupt this industry, as I mentioned it before. So let's go out there, let people know what we do, let people know what we teach, and most importantly, let's build this business together, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? All right, guys, that's all I have. And if nothing else, I see you next week.
Thank you.
Good night,
Thanks,
everyone.
Alan. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, everybody.